So it's based on a rural craft of green woodwork. So that is sort of taking timber out of a woodland and almost using it in that environment as much as you can, really. So sort of working with real natural looking wood, branch wood, all different shapes and sizes, and then really it's about using certain tools, learning the techniques of the tools, and then it's a case of the timber, the technique, and the tool to all come together, and hopefully something evolves from there, from that connection. Absolutely, every single thing I do, I love every part of it, because every day is different. One day I could be making a commission for a memorial bench, and another day I might be building an oak frame. A day later I could be in the woodlands coppicing some hazel, so it's absolutely, every day is different. Teaching, when I teach, I love meeting new people, passing on skills. So really, you buy into a lifestyle, really. It's a whole lifestyle of working with wood in its truest form. And I'm here from 8 o'clock or from 7, and I might work, till it gets dark some days. But I guess I view it as it's not a drudgery. It's quite a privilege to work. It's a privilege to work with this type of wood in this way. When people come on a course and they come and make an oak stool with me, what I find is that they cannot believe the joy they get after 5 hours of creating their own bit of furniture, all by hand. So that's like one little revelation they have. The second thing is that they've realised that there's a health benefit to it as well, because you're outside, you're not stuck in an air-conditioned office. And then there's just this sheer joy of it, the sheer joy of making something with our hands. Because maybe we forget that we can do that. And we forget, I think we forget, don't we? We're so plugged in, we all are so plugged into the world that sometimes it's great just to unplug and just to, I use a smartphone like the same as everyone else, but I don't live by that sort of technology, and I like the fact that some days I can't be reached because I'm working in a woodland. There's no reception. So, the best thing, I think the best thing myself and a friend, we made was we built a big storytelling chair. This was for a school over in Birmingham, and the project started off in the springtime. The head teacher met me at the garden show and said, I've got a project for you. And then a couple of months later, we finally had a meeting, and then that led to me going into the school, and then I did a presentation in front of this class of children, and then they then gave me their ideas, and so then we had this whole discussion with this lovely bunch of young kids about what they thought a storytelling chair should sort of look like. And in the end, we came up with the concept of it being sort of a nature's throne. So it incorporated all different carvings of butterflies and dragonflies and foxes and owls, and so every woodland creature you can imagine. And this throne ended up being 8 foot high and almost 4 foot wide, and it was probably the greatest thing I've ever made, really. And then when it got erected and we fit it into the ground, and we had this. It was a big cover on it on the day that we sort of, the head teacher brought all the school classes into the playing field, and we pulled off. I put this big sheet on it. We pulled off the sheet, and then he started to sort of recite like a story that he'd written, and this story was about inspiring young minds. And he says, well, hopefully this chair, you'll sit on this throne, and this will inspire your creative minds. I think it's important that we try and keep heritage skills alive. I think that is important, that we have this great heritage of craftspeople in this country. So we should be keeping these skills available for people to learn, really, and to why can't everyone have have a go at it really, you know. It is right, it's vital because when you lose it, it's gone, and then you know, and then there'll be a story that someone remembers that village carpenter when a long time ago, and he was a lovely old fella, but he's not there anymore, and then that moment's disappeared, you know, and you know, why can't the skills should be passed on? It should be passed on to sort of to a new generation really. I think it's just important. I think it's as important as anything else is. You know, it's not any more, it's not any less, but it's just, it should be fair. It should be available. You know? I think that everyone should have a go at making things. Really, I think that we should all, whether it be wood or metal or ceramics or painting or anything, we should just embrace more creativity in our lives.